Hi and welcome to a brand new video. In this video, we're going to be tackling the major element 2 Java problem. Given an array of size n, find all elements that appear more than n over 3 times. Note that this algorithm should be running a linear time. The first example is at 3, 2, 3, where 3 comes up twice, which is more than 1/3 of the array length. So that's what we return. However, in something like this, both 1 and 3 come up more than 1/3 of the time, so we return both values. So how are we supposed to tackle this? Well, to tackle this, we're going to be using a hash map, and we're going to be using an array list. If you don't know what a hash map is, please check out my previous video. I'll put a link in the description, and that's going to have all the information you need for this video as well as the problem in that video. We're also going to be using an array list, and an array list is a basically a better version of normal arrays in Java because it has a unlimited size, so you don't have a fixed size. And in this video, we're going to learn how to declare them and how to add a number to them. So first, we're going to create that array list or that list that we're going to be returning at the end. And this list is just going to have all the numbers that are going to repeat. So what you do is that you kind of do it like a normal object declaration, list, angle brackets, integer, because we're returning integer array list. And I'm going to just call it hi. And this is going to be a type of an array list, and it's also going to be an integer. So this is how we're going to declare this list. I'm also going to create a variable repeat that's going to hold the nums.length divided by 3. And these are just the two things that we need to set up at the beginning, what we need to return, and just a quick way to refer to the nums.length divided by 3. Now, I also mentioned that we're going to be using a hash map. This hash map is going to have the number in the array and how many times it came up, meaning an integer to integer correspondence. Let's do a hash map, integer, comma, integer, and it's going to be OK equals new hash map, integer, comma, integer. And this means that this OK hash map is going to have the integer, which is going to be the number in the array, and how many times it came up. To know how many times it came up and which numbers are coming up, let's iterate through every number in the array. So I'm going to be using a for loop for this. And in this for loop, each number has two conditions. It could already be in the array list, meaning that it already came up before in the array, or it can be a completely new number. So those are two cases, so let's check that with an if statement. If OK.contains key nums of I, and this will check to see whether nums of I is already a key. And then here, if it is a key, we're going to add 1 to the value, updating the amount of times it comes in the array. And else, we're going to be adding it to the hash map. So what we did here is that we just split the numbers into already in the hash map and not in the hash map. If it's already in the hash map, we're going to replace the value. How to do that? We're going to do OK.replace, and in OK.replace, we can replace the value at a certain key. So the key that we want is nums of I, and we want to replace OK.get nums of I, which is the value, and we want to plus 1. Meaning that we're going to take the existing value and we're going to add 1, and that's going to be the new value. else, we're going to just do OK.put, and that's going to just add something to the hash map. So we're going to add nums of I, and because it already came up, we're going to put a 1 here. Now that we've added everything to the hash map correctly, we have correct values, let's iterate through every integer x inside the OK.key set. And by iterating, we can see if OK.getX, which is the value, is greater than repeat. What I did here is that for every integer in this hash map, if it's greater, if the number of times it comes up is greater than repeat, then we want the high, which is the array list that we created at the beginning, we're going to add x to it. And then at the very end, all we have to do is return this list. So let's summarize what we did. We created a hash map that has an integer to integer correspondence. And this way we can keep track of what numbers are coming up and how many times they're coming up. Then we're going to iterate through every single one of how many times it comes up. And we're going to see if it's greater than repeat, which is the nums.length divided by 3. Remember, that's what we're trying to count. Then we're going to add it to the list that we're returning. So let's run our program with I've already set up this test case. As you see in this test case, it comes up 1, 2, which is the correct answer on the notepad. We can also do the 3, 2, 3 example. And if you noticed, if I pasted this here and I press run, that's 3. So I hope that you learned something from this video. You learned how to solve this majority element 2 problem in Java, and you might have also learned how to use array lists and hash maps. I hope to see you next time in my next video. Bye-bye!